Hello everyone, and welcome to the 5th round of the Weekend Night Racing series. This is the Premier League now, and yes, you may recognize this familiar voice. I am KD1997, back in the commentary booth for this series again. If you remember, I used to be racing for Haas before then. I recently just dropped out to being reserve on just doing this every other week now. So from now I'll be in the commentary booth every other week. I'll be myself first, and then Jake Wilson will do it next week, and it'll just keep rotating, kind of like what it was last season, but or late last season. But the reason I dropped out of my seat is just because of my work schedule being mostly on the weekends. Thankfully, I don't need to be worrying about that this weekend, so thankfully that's why I'm in the commentary booth this time. But hopefully I can get some races here and there too. But in the meantime, qualifying is about to start, and what do you know? It starts off where I left off from the last time I was in the commentary booth here in France. It is raining again. What a shocker. So back in Le Castellier again in France for the French Grand Prix. So obviously this one is just not like League One where it's short qualifying. Obviously it's full qualifying. If you all know the drill, top 15 move on to Q1, and then Q2 is top 10, and then Q3 is just basically you go flat out and do the best you can, and it's a race for pole position for the top 10. But yeah, in the meantime, I should probably mention who is in my seat. It is Cryptic Alibi, who's been a very busy man this weekend. If you remember, he reserved in League One. He also was... Sorry, my voice is kind of a little bit froggy there. He also races in Championship, and of course, now he's taking over my seat for Haas. So, in the meantime, there's my racing number as well. I didn't realize Siege also races my number 13, because that's usually what I race with. But yeah, in the meantime, I guess I can go over the Drivers and Constructors Championship real fast. And in the lead, at the very moment, is the reigning champion from last season, Idenza, who has won 3 out of the last 4 races so far. His only worst result came in Vietnam, where he placed in 3rd. He is up by 39 points over my former teammate, who you can see right there on your screen, Siege, in the Haas. And then 3rd is Lil Sully. I think that's how you say it. He's in the Williams. He is currently down by 48 points. Dan Murphy in the AlphaTauri is in 4th. Crixie in 5th place. And then in the constructor side of things, it is Alfa Romeo in the lead by 37 points over Racing Point. In 3rd is Haas with down by 42. Dan Murphy, AlphaTauri, which also includes Dan Murphy, and Konau is in 4th, down by 52, and then Lil Sully and F1 4th in the Williams, down by 53. And there you go. Alright, anyway, I'll give you a little tour of this place, in the wet especially. We'll ride along with my former teammate, Siege in the Haas. So, of course, this lap will be a lot more different, obviously, since it is in wet conditions. As you can see, he's going to come up to turn 1. You want to clip that apex as much as you can. Be a little gentle on the throttle, of course. Or, of course, you don't want to rub too much of that inside curve, but you can get invalidation if you rub too much of it. Into turn 3, you want to flick the car into the inside curve. There you go, good turn in. Stay in 3rd gear into turn 4, and then into turn 5. He sixes the 3rd, interestingly enough. Into turn 6, still in 3rd gear, so he's been fine there. Had a little bit of a tank slap in there coming out of the exit there, the corner. Now down one of the 2 DRS straights. Well, they won't be used at all in this qualifying, obviously, because of the conditions. Into now the chicane, turn 7, or excuse me, turn 8 and 9. Love the curves there. Very nice, it's done, and now into the exit. of those corners, and now it's the end of the second sector towards one of the two known corners I know this track. C corner, supposed to be a flat-out turn 10, but this one you might have to just lift, of course, and then into La Bossier, which is turn 11. Has a little bit of a elevation, like down elevation right there, as you can see. Into now turn 12. This is probably one of my least favorite parts of the track, just because it's very hard to deal with no ABS, I would say, and you can lock up very easily in turn 12. You saw turn 13 was a flat-out corner into turn 14, the penultimate turn, and then finally you go into the final corner, which is a hard right-hander. And towards the line now, Siege and the Haas will set a 1 minute 43.1. But at the moment, it is I was going to say, it's the reigning champion Idenzo in second, but it was taken over by Rick Dalton in the Racing Point. So Rick Dalton is currently your pole sitter at the moment. And then the next come is Crooksey in the Renault. And he's also in, is that a number 27 or 57? I can't tell from that angle. Oh, it's 57, okay. And he just came across to the 43.8. I thought he was in Hulkenberg's number. Oh, it's 67. Yeah, that camera angle didn't show me correctly there, or I just couldn't see it from that angle. Chaza in the Racing Point goes to 46.1. Got some more laps coming in. I think we see my car coming across. Critti Albi. Oh, he invalidated his lap, so he's just doing it again. A good advantage, though, about this, and he did it again. So, unfortunately, he has to settle for that. And Serious Mushroom does a 144.2. So that's the time right now for the Mercedes-Benz. And I think Nanda, his Tanker's teammate, just started doing his lap. Next to come across looks like to be a Red Bull. Yes. And that is Jay Story in the Red Bull. Also a fellow American as well. Let's see what he does here as he come across the line. He's at a 1:49.6. Well, at least what I think he is, because I see him with an American flag anytime I'm in these lobbies. He does a 1:47.4, but he doesn't really improve to gain a position. So pretty much everyone's just taking it a little bit more cautiously. I think we should be able to see more time improve a little bit with the track maybe evolutionizing in the later parts of the qualifying. Let's see. Dan Murphy coming across the line now. He does a 1:43.8, just gets ahead of his teammate in the Alpha Tauri. And I think next to come is it Shouters or is it Crixie? I think that's Crixie. Did he improve? I don't think he did. Yeah, he's still at 1:43. But Chaza did improve to a 43.3 to get into 5th. So I'm guessing if the track were to be more evolutionized, we probably could see times close to maybe the 41s if that's my rough guess. I don't know. I'll look at the comments in a bit. I'm not on my phone to see him, but I don't know if it's going to be like there's going to be a transition, if it's going to be wets the whole time, or if there's going to be a point where it's just, oh, okay. 42.5 by Nunda. Jake the Slayer's retired from qualifying. Oh, I see where he crashed. That's a known corner to crash in the rain. He crashed at Scene Corner. And there's a Ferrari there, too. Sam Swift. I remember him from Australia in League One. He won the opener for that race, and he was in the Mercedes-Benz. I wonder if those two may have had a come together or something at Scene Corner, or something. Well, something must have happened. Maybe we might have to see a steward inquiry for it, but looks like Konau just improved his time of 1:43.374. So he's 6/100ths slower than Chaz at the moment, but looks like he's in a more comfortable position. I think the Alfa Romeo Cowie just did a time at 1:43.5. Dan Murphy did a 43.5 as well, but up by 2/100ths. And Sam just did a 2:07. Of course, I think he has a lot more pace than that, so you'll see the time probably get a little bit more further up. And I think next come Sully, who's half a second up. And he actually just went to third and nearly a second up. And he actually had a purple third sector. And he did a 42.6. So that's still a good time there by the Williams. And oh, and Dan Murphy's out too. So he's crashed out of. Oh, wait, I'm trying to see if I can get the Renault to show. Ah, he crashed on the straight. Interesting. He crashed on the back straight. So that's his qualifying over. So no Jake the Slayer, no Dan Murphy. So even if Dan Murphy, even if Dan Murphy is safe, he's out of qualifying because they cannot repair his car in time for Q2, obviously. Take my example from when I crashed out at Zandvoort during Q1. If you're not familiar with that. So, like, if your car crashes out in Q1 or Q2 and you are safe, but you crash, you cannot participate in the next qualifying session. Oh, oh, Cryptic Alibi. That's a bit of a tank slapper there for you. Maybe you should spend more time driving there, mate. Maybe instead of being on your phone. Maybe you'll learn to drive better. No, I'm just kidding. No, I feel like we always give him a lot of banter about that because Cryptic Alibi is known for just messaging on the YouTube comments, of course. Pretty much just whenever he feels like it, of course. I can relate to someone else I know. But, let's see, Serious Mushroom in the Mercedes-Benz. He's currently in 11th, so he's right now safe at the moment. And it looks like he's about to end his, I presume this is his third flying lap or fourth flying lap. As he comes across the line, it should be a lot of an improvement. Actually, it's a little bit of an improvement. 43-0, 44, excuse me, 44-0, but it didn't really help him gain an advantage. So he has to settle for 11th, but I think at the moment he might be safe, but he might have to come back out soon just to make sure of it. I can see the YouTube comments are popping in too on my screen, so I'll see, try to read them out as much as I can as well. Have that on my phone for y'all. There we go. I can see Dylan Clark. I know who that is. That's Delano. Just wanted a wet race. Kind of similar to what we had in League One. That was probably the most interesting race I commentated in this league so far. When it was just we had like 4 safety cars and 1 VSC. And I remember like we did like, I think if I remember correctly, it was like 15 or 16 laps we had under safety car, and 4 of those laps were clean. Like, gosh, a bit of a tongue twister there for me, I guess. Green flag racing. Yeah, it was quite an interesting experience to see. Let's see, who can we find that's on a lap? Because I feel like it's pretty quiet at the moment. I see Chaz is on the lap. I know Siege is about to do one as well. And I see there's... okay. So... Oh, Serious Mushroom's out of fuel, so he's going back in. Marsky out? Or... no, he's not. I'm sure he's probably going anyway. But yeah, you can see there too... Oh. That's interesting. Shatters is in the intermediate tires. Ah, so everyone's switching to the intermediates. Okay, so it is transitioning. Oh yeah, I can see that Lorraine's starting to line up just a little bit. If any of the drivers are in this, Cryptic Alibi, I know you're watching. If you could give me a little update in terms of like if it's gonna be dry for the race or wet, that'd be great. I'm not sure if I'm saying sorry if I got into anyone's way during the runs. Okay, it's dry. Thank you. So let's see. At the moment, most everyone has the intermediates on. And we have about 3 minutes left of the qualifying. F1's car will be the first of the intermediate runners to come across the line. And at the penultimate turn now at the final corner. Right now the pole position time is a 1:41.0 set by Konal, and he does a 1:41.7. Konal's up in the pole position at the moment. Siege is in second, Crooksy in third, Chaz in fourth, F1 Corp in fifth, and then Rick Dalton and Nanda, who did their runs on the intermediates, right now a little bit at the bottom. Of course, now we can see who were the white runners are now doing their intermediate tire runs. As you can see, their Tango has gone onto pole position with a 40.2. And let's see who we can find that's close. Might be the Racing Point? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, I still see a house there. I think that might be Cryptic Alibi. Oh yeah, it is Cryptic Alibi. Alright, so we'll follow along with Jazza then. In the other, in the Racing Point. You can see Cryptic Alibi in the background there as well. I guess we'll catch with them in a bit, but in the meantime, here comes Chazza at the final corner now. And the time right now he needs to beat is a 40.2. Obviously, that doesn't look like that's going to happen. And I don't think he obviously won't improve. He'll go into a 41.2, or 44. Sorry, I didn't catch that, but I guess it was a 44. Siege. Oh, now we go into the 39s. 1:39.9 is now the provisional pole at the moment. And next to come across the line will be Cowie in the Alfa Romeo. I think he might beat this time too. Nope, actually he does not. He goes at 1:40.1. So he's just 2/10 off. He must have lost some time somewhere in the third sector, I probably would say. And there's his teammate Idenzo about to start his flying lap. And I think we have one of the McLarens coming towards the line. Then that might be Tango. And Williams of Sully just gone to third at the moment, so he's doing fine. Tango is still in provisional pole. Actually, no, he just got his provisional pole. It looks like, yeah, 1:39.919. So he's 500 up of Siege. Excuse me. Meanwhile, F1 Farth looks like he's going to be, might be improving here as he's set a purple middle sector, but not sure if that's real or not because I know how this game is, with it being very dishonest about it. Jazza coming across the line now, goes to third, so that also is the end of qualifying as well. So right now the drivers are at risk are Sam Swift, Marfsky, Jay Story, and Nalzi. Nalzi won't set a time, he's out of qualifying. So can Marfsky get out of there? And it looks like he can with a 42.3. So it puts himself up into 11th. So that puts now Serious Mushroom at risk. So can he improve to get out of the bottom 5 and get out of qualifying and not get out of eliminated qualifying? Yes, he can. 140.3. Lorenzo Shatters comes across, does a 41.1. Here comes his teammate Crooksy of 40.4. Now, where is Jay's Story and Sam Swift? They're about they're at the third sector. Sam Swift will be the first out of the bottom 5 to come across the line. Nunda right now is the current one at risk. He goes up into second place. Next is Sam Swift to come across the line. Red Dalton improves to second. Now, here comes Sam Swift to come across the line. He is made it through. He's into Q2 now. Jay Story, can he get out? No, he cannot. So he is out of qualifying. So that means Marfsky, Jay Story, Dan Murphy, Jake the Slayer, and Nalzi will have to settle for being eliminated in Q1. So that is their qualifying session over. And Idenza goes into pole position with a 39, or actually a 38.9. That's a good time there by Idenza. First one to crack into the 38s. I mean, like I said, he has won 3 out of the last 4 races so far. Can we see him go 4 out of 5? Well, we shall see. But I feel like anyone could get pole position at this rate, mainly because, well, it's wet weather conditions. Right, so, let me remind you who is out of qualifying. It is Marfsky, Jay Story, Dan Murphy, Jake the Slayer, and Nalzi are out of qualifying in Q1. So now we move on to Q2. Now, of course, I would say if this was the dry session next session, of course, it would be that whatever tire compound you race with the fastest lap on, then that's the tire you race on for the race. But obviously that doesn't like that'll happen because we're still in rainy conditions. Meanwhile, I guess I could look at the comment section real quick. Cryptic Alibi's hoping for all enters next session. My guess is it probably will be. Nanda says you don't get a thank you for you're an admin. That's expected from you Jake. It says for, but I know you meant to say from. From the way it looks, this is going to be intermediates. Alright, so dry at the end of Q2. So we will see the dry tires come into play. So where will we see anyone come out? It looks like, yeah, we've got our first one coming out, and that is Siege in the Haas. Marfsky thought he was in Q2. Nope, I'm sorry, mate, but it showed that you are 17th, I believe. So unfortunately, you are out of qualifying, my guy. Cryptic Alibi, my Q2. For God's sake, man, stop texting and driving and just drive the car. How many times do I have to say that? I even say that in the comment section that I remember the comment section in the championship stream last night. I was bantering how he just spends more time on his phone than he does on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, perfect example in the comment section. Nah, I'm just kidding, Cryptic Alibi. If you're listening, I do like you. But anyway, I think the first one to come across line first to do a lap will be Siege in the Haas, so we'll follow along with him. So, yeah, like I said, it will be just intermediate conditions for a bit, and then the last bit of qualifying will be dry. So, yeah, as you can see, the rain is starting to lighten up a bit, but it's still too wet to even do a lap because it's still too greasy. Question is, will we see the mediums come into play, though, even though the track is a little bit too greasy? That's the only one way to see. As one of the cars has gone to the pits, I think, who was that? Was that Jake? I don't know. Anyway, here's Siege again. Well, I guess we'll follow along with him again since even though we did it last time, why not do it again? Alright, so coming into... Oh, let me put up the telemetry. I forgot to do that. So now he's just coming into the first 5 corners of the track. Looks like he is doing fine at the moment. Suddenly in 3rd gear with all the 3 of those corners. Line out through 7 and then goes down to DR straight. In 8th gear, travel down the back straight with at speeds of over 200 miles an hour. Hard braking zone there into the chicane. Flip the curb. Hit the curb, inside curb at turn 9. And then out of the exit of the turn 9 as well. Well, I don't know why these are considered corners, but they're not. Down to the second sector, the purple. Into the flat out seeing corner. Turn 10. Even though it's not really flat out in this case. Into now Lavoisier, turn 11. So on to 5th, down to 4th, short shift to 4th. Pick it up back into 5th gear there. The exit of the corner. Turn 12, a little bit deep. He's doing fine at the moment. Flat out to 13, off to the flat out corner. Into 14, onto the brakes. Into the penultimate turn. Into the final corner we go. Into turn 15. And then down the back front straight. You should be able to come across the line. Maybe in the 39s, maybe in the 40s. Yep, 39.9 is now the pole time. Anyway, also forgot to mention about what the track details is. From memory, it's 3.6 miles long, 15 corners, 6 left, 9 right, and with 2 DRS zones. Cornell just got into the 40s with a 40.7, Cryptic Alibi 41.4, Crixie at 40.5. Now because the time's coming into play. Rick Dalton in a 40.2, Shatters at 41.5, Cowie at 40.2 is the time of the moment for him. And next to come will be Nunda in the McLaren. Can he improve up in the order there? And just a reminder, it's the top 10 that go through to Q3. Top 15. The bottom 15 will be, bottom 5 will be out. He goes into pole position with a 39.4. So it's a McLaren 1-2 at the moment. Next to come looks like to be Sam Swift in the Ferrari. As he comes to the final corner now, can he at least get it to pole position or close to pole position? Needs to be at least a 39.4. Looks like that won't be the case, but he will be in 8th. So he is right now 8th position at the moment for Ferrari. And next to come will be Serious Mushroom in the Mercedes-Benz. As yeah, now you can see the track is starting to dry up a little bit, but it's still a little bit too wet to even do a lap on dry tires. Come across, 40.9 is the time for Mercedes-Benz. And Tommy saying didn't know that Nunda was a rain master. To be honest, I didn't even know either. I don't know if I ever seen Nunda race in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, during my time racing it. Anyway, here comes Chaza down the front straight now. Come across 39.8. So right now at the moment that our risks are Cryptic Alibi, Shatters, Denzo, F1 Fart, and Sully, but those 3 drivers have yet to do their laps. And I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to be that high up because the track is, I mean, it's still a little bit of, you still got a little bit of spray, but it's still too early to go for the dry tires. Cryptic Alibi, what have you said this time? I got lost finding the exit for Q3. Or, wait, what? Q1. How'd you get lost finding the exit? Anyway, here comes Tango. Where's Hugh? Oh gosh, don't remind me about him. Here comes Tango, 39.7, so he pretty much almost is the exact same time as he did earlier. And yeah, everyone's coming into the pits, I think, now. Denzo should be coming in though, or he should have done in this lap. Yeah, because now the track is starting to become dry. Well, alright, we'll see what he can do in his intermediate run. And DRS is also enabled too, so he can also use DRS to his advantage, but he won't have the grip, I don't think, as everyone else will soon. Alright, so here's Denzo coming around turn 6. So I'm curious to see what he'll do in this middle sector. Oh, Tommy. Oh, wow. Man, your birth was accidental? Damn. That's harsh. Alright, so Denzo. It says he's purple in the middle sector on dry conditions. Interesting. Will he actually finish the lap, though, is the question. He goes a little bit too deep into C corner. Yeah, yeah, I don't think that might have killed his lap there. Yeah, he just doesn't have the grip to get around that corner, too. Is he going to the pits? Oh, no, he just... Oh, there you go. Now he killed it. I thought for a moment he was not going to. Alright, so... Yeah, you could see everyone starting to fit into the drier compound. The only one that's not in the medium compound is Siege. But everyone else is still in interiors, but obviously they haven't done their changes yet. Tango saying, I think McLaren likes the wet. I probably would agree, because it does show with McLaren being 1-2 at the moment. Alright, so 4.5 minutes left. And the drivers that are at risk is Cryptic Alibi, Shatters, Denzo, Farth, and Sully. And those guys have yet to do a time in qualifying. Excuse me. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're on the mediums, it might be a bit of a disadvantage for you because you won't have the grip that you would for when a track is dry. That's why the softs is mostly the best tire for you. But you probably would have to wait another 2 minutes, maybe, I would say. Alright, we see someone's coming out. I'm trying to see who that is. There's 2 of them that just came out. I think I see Alpha. Can I, there we go. I was just like, okay, so one of them is our Clara, the other one is Alpha Romeo. I thought I saw an Alpha Romeo, one of them. Alright, so it's Denzo out, and so is Tango. And they're both on the medium tires. Siege has not yet even changed his tire compound to the dries, to either the mediums or the softs. But I'm guessing he's probably going to be waiting until later on. Yeah, you can see the track is still dry, and there's a little bit of puddles there on that front straight, or that back straight a little bit there on the left side of the track. Shin, do you guys need drivers? Might be too. Maybe talk to Jake about that, because I know he's in charge of that stuff. Of course, Jake Wilson is the main boss of this, the owner of the league. Yeah, of course, yeah. Like I said, we got full grid. But yeah, next time if you want to reserve, just make sure to, I don't know if you're in the Discord, but just make sure to check in the next time you're on there, and you can reserve there as well. Anyway, oh, that might be a bit of an impediment. Oh, that McLaren came out of the pits at the wrong time. Did Denzo have to abort? No, Denzo can still keep going. But yeah, that McLaren came out at the wrong time at the pits. I thought that was Tango or Nunda. Yeah, that was extremely close. But Denzo's up at purple. Well, obviously he's purple in the first sector because he's on the dries. He's the only one, or Nunda's the only one that's on the soft. Everyone's on the medium, so that's pretty interesting. A little bit of a lockup there from Denzo going into the turn 9. But, yeah, that could have been pretty bad if those two would have collided. And yeah, there you can see the sun's coming out as well. So yeah, this makes an assumption to me that the race will, or that the qualifying for the rest of the time will be dry in Q3. I don't think we'll be seeing the rain come back. In the meantime, Denzo covering the final 2 corners now. Obviously, the time to be is at 39.4, but that was set on the inters. What can he do in the dries? In the medium compound tires, obviously. Looks like he'll be a wow, that's a good time. 128.6 on the medium tires. That's a very good lap. Tango does a 28.9. And Leslie Nunda is about to start his flying lap to, I think is it Siege? Parentheses, or was that Cryptic Alibi? No, he's about to start his lap. I'm trying to see who I can find. Okay, never mind. We'll just follow on with Shatters. Alright, so that's the end of qualifying there. So everyone's got to get their times, and Shatter has to get out of the bottom 5. He does with a 30.1, but can that last? Nando's trying to get a bit of a tow from his teammate to help him out. Callie will be the next to cross the line. Oh, no, it was Cornell that crossed the line. Does a 29.3. Now it comes Callie to cross the line. Actually, that was Mushroom. Callie goes into 4th with a 29.1. Next to come will be, I think, the Ferrari. Yeah, the Ferrari Sam Swift. He is in 8th at the moment, so he might be a little bit at risk. Nunda will be the next to cross the line, I think. Or is that a racing point? That's a racing point. Jazza. Sorry about that. He goes into 3rd place with a 128.9. His teammate also got up there with a 28.7. Next to come will be Nunda. Can he improve? And the answer will be yep. And it's pole position at the moment by 0.3 of a second for Nunda as well. Cryptic Alibi next to come across the line. 129.7 will be the time. So he is right now in the bubble spot. Now can Crooksy bump him down? Yes, he can. 129.1. So that is the end of qualifying there. Cryptic Alibi, Shatters, Sam Swift, Serious Mushroom, and F1 Farth are out of the qualifying. Alright, so I think Q3 will obviously be just dry. Yeah, that's unlucky there, Cryptic Alibi. You were very close. Just missed it out by 0.3 of a second. Had you been in the 29.4s, you probably would have been in a better position. But, yep, there's your results for Q2, and there's your drivers eliminated. Cryptic Alibi, Shatters, Sam Swift, Serious Mushroom, and F1 Farth are out of qualifying. All right, and now we get into Q3. So now this is where the drivers are going to get really quick here. It should be posting some great lap times as well. Obviously, the whole point is just to go flat out as fast as you can. You can use the softs. It won't even matter that because that's not the tires that you're not starting with. It's just whatever you set in Q2. All right, anyway, there is... Why does the graphic say lap? There we go. It said lap 1 to 3. I thought we were doing a 3-lap race. Anyway, there we go. Get the graphic up for you guys. Alright, so 12 minutes is on the clock. And we will now begin Q3. And obviously you can see it is dry. So, no need to worry about the rain. Just gotta go flat out as fast as you can. Yes. I think Conal was... Oh, never mind. It's a Williams that comes out first. It's Sully. Ugh. Biggest advantage if you're in a Williams, obviously you're in the last garage in the pit lane. So obviously you can get out first if you get out very fast. Oh. Excuse me, I apologize. My throat is just like... It's kind of been a little bit dry for the past few hours. I'm trying to drink as much water as possible. But anyway, yep, here comes Q3 to start off. And everyone's already out and about and doing the flying laps. Or outlaps, I should say. The only ones that are still in the pits is Siege and Cowie, but everyone else is out and about. Actually, no, I take that back. Everyone's coming out, so it is going to be a very, very busy track at the moment. Alright, so I guess we could give you now a little bit more of a proper tour of this track with it now being dry. So we'll follow along with Sully as he was the first one to come out and he will be the first to set a lap. So, here we go. Down the front straight with the DRS open this time. Now he doesn't have to worry about the weather being wet. Of course, that you can't enable it during the wet conditions. Into turn 1, flick into the inside curb. Into turn 2, flick on the inside curb there as well. Very nicely done there. Into now turn 3. Want to be on the outside, flick into the inside curve of turn 3. Hug the curves as much as possible in the first sector. Stay into third gear. Get a good exit there. Pretty nicely done there. Kick it out, short shift into fourth gear out of that corner. Into now the flat out turn 7, and then in the back straight, DRS open in the second DRS zone. Into now another heavy braking zone of turn 8. On the brakes going to fourth, shift down to third. Short shift up into fourth gear, the exit of the corner, and then go into now the third sector. This time you can go flat out into C corner, flat out all the way through eighth gear, into F corner, into Le Bossier. A little bit wide there, I think. Still doing okay though. He gets good exit there. Short shifts into fifth, down to fourth. Interesting. I usually take a third. And to now the final 3 corners now into the penultimate turn, down to fourth gear, should shift down to third. There you go, into the final corner. DRS wide open yet again in the big ledger box on the rear wing, coming across the line, and he will do a 1:28.1 to kick it off. So that is your pole time at the moment. So now follows it up with a 28.5. Next to come across will be the Renault Prixie 1:28.5. And now the McLaren of Tango to come across the line. What does he do? 1:28.4 is the time. Let's see. The Racing Point of Rick Dalton goes into the 1:27s with a 1:27.8. So that puts him up by 0.3 of a second ahead of Lil Solly. Next to come across will be Idenzo, and I think he might be set for pole position here as well. Let's see what he can do. Down the back front straight, comes across the line, does a 1:27.5. So that puts him at the top of the table at the moment. Siege follows that up with a 1:28.7 for Haas. Next to come across the line, Cowie in the Alfa Romeo. DRS open. Can he challenge his teammate? The answer is no, but he will be in the 1:28 once. And up by 2/100 of a second from Lil Sully. I'll just say Sully. It sounds weird if I say that. But anyway, yep, there you go. Alfa Romeo split at 1:3. Rick Dalton right now is the one that's split in between in second place with a 1:27.8 in the Racing Point. Tango is, he's invalidated his lap. And there, I'll take that back. Let's see, we'll follow along with, who can we follow along with? We'll follow along with his teammate. Is he going to the pits? Actually, yeah, it looks like he will. I would assume. Yeah, he's slowing down. So, yeah, that is your time for the moment. Chazza is the only one that has not even set a time yet. But Denzo, right now, on to provisional pole at the very moment for Alfa Romeo. Seemed like Tango wasn't too happy with his lap. He said it was an abysmal lap. It's alright, man. You still got time. Even though you've just got nearly a second to make up if you want to get pole position. Yeah, Denzo, that is an impressive time though too. 1:27.8. 27.5. I'm sorry. Anyway, now Chazza is the only one now out on track, so he's got the track pretty much to himself in the Racing Point. Yeah, McLaren sticking together. Yeah, obviously, not even far off from each other. Only split is by 5/100ths. Surprised how Nanda has improved. I'm guessing he used to be a championship driver. I'm guessing he was a championship driver, if I'm not mistaken. Takes that compliment very well. Alright, so we'll follow along with the Racing Point of Chazza then, since he's the only one out on track. So the time he needs to beat is 1:27.5. He has 5 minutes left to qualify, so I think this might be his only shot. Unless he invalidates and he can have time to do it again, but as long as he has enough fuel to do it, if he gets to that point. Down into second gear, interesting there. Does not fall through in third. Down the back straights, get the DRS open, of course. And down to the chicane, turns 8 and 9. Put the car there, good exit out of the corners there, very nicely done. Now down the end of the second sector, he is in purple at the moment, so maybe we can follow this lap a little bit more closely and see if it's legitimate. Into Lavoisier, put the car there. Had a little bit too much inside curve there at the beginning of the corner, but I think he should be okay. And he's a little bit low on his fuel, so this is like, I think this is his only chance. So now the penultimate turn. Into fifth gear, interesting there. And down to second. Alright, so he's at the 120 mark. As he's coming down the front straight, he's going to get into the 127s. And it is, yes he can, a 127.9. So it is now a Racing Point 2-3. That's still a good time there by Chazza, as he's now just cutting across the track and trying to get to the pits as quickly as possible. And he's lucky though, he's got all the track to himself, so he can get there quick, but I don't know if we'll see if he has time to make it. He's got 3 minutes left, and I know it takes a while for everyone to get back into the pits when you get into the pit lane. Oh, is there a rule in this? I probably don't know. I probably didn't know that. Well, I mean, if it is, then he might have to have a steward inquiry for it. But, yeah, I know he's just cutting every bits of the track. But, I mean, to be fair, he's got the whole track to himself. But you know, I don't think he's going to have time to make it. Yeah, that was his only shot. Yeah, no, he doesn't have time. That's his qualifying over. His teammate is out, though. Rick Dalton is out to do his outlap, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to come out now to do their last laps of qualifying. So the man that could challenge him right now, Rick Dalton, is the closest one, 127.8 at the moment. He's only 3 tenths down, over 3.5 tenths down of Denzo. Okay, so he is allowed to do that. Alright, so there will be no steward inquiry. Well, hey, as long as he doesn't impede anyone's lap, that's also the main thing. Just be thankful that he has the whole track to himself. I think there is a McLaren that's coming towards the line now. Yep, there is Tango starting his last flying lap. Oh, and Siege goes into pole position with a 27.4. So that Haas has got some power underneath there. So the Ferrari-powered cars of the Alfa Romeo and the Haas right now at 1 and 2. Alright, so that is also Siege's qualifying session over. And there goes Konal about to start his final flying lap. And let's see, who can we find that's on a lap that's close? Oh, Tango is invalidated, so he's out of qualifying. Well, at least he's not going to be able to set a lap. Unless he can cut the track like Chaza did, which is exactly what he's doing. But to be fair, I don't think he's got enough time to do it. He's got 10 seconds left as well. Let's see, he's got 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh! Okay. His car's still going in the pits. What? Oh, I've never seen that. What on earth? His car still kept going after it collapsed the suspension. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Wow. I have never seen that before. Siege is retired. He's out of qualifying. But Rick Dalton is going to be coming across the line in just a moment. Well, he set a 1:27.8. So he cannot improve his time. AlphaTauri coming across. That's Konal. What does he do? A 1:28.5. Here comes the Williams of Sully. What can he do? 1:28.1. 1:27.6. It did not update for me. So he's in 4th. So he's definitely improved. Now here comes Denzo. Can he challenge Siege? Locks up at the final corner though. But can he get that Alfa Romeo into pole position? He needs to be at 27.4. He goes a 1:26.9. Wow. That is impressive. What a time by Denzo. And he's half a second clear from the rest of the field. Or from Siege, I should say. Wow. That's probably the fastest time I've ever seen in this track in terms of commentating. That's incredible. But there is your top 10. Denzo on pole position. Siege in 2nd. Cowie in 3rd. Rick Dalton in 4th. Sully in 5th. Chaza in 6th. Christie in 7th. Nanda in 8th. Konal 9th. And Tango rounds off your top 10. I swear, isn't Denzo Finnish? I thought he had Finland flag next to his name. But wow, that is an impressive time. Yeah, that's really that I'm being serious. That is literally the fastest time I've ever seen of my time commentating F1 2020 so far. I have never seen anyone go into the 126s in France. That is incredible. uh, but yeah, there you go. Denzo on pole position. Um, I don't know if this is how many pole positions he's got, because I know I've only done one race. I only did one race during my time of doing the Premier League when I was full-time driver at Haas. I know it wasn't pole when we did Vietnam. I think that who was that got pole that race? I think it was Clarkey, wasn't it, or Rick Dalton, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Emerson Hilton? I don't remember. Either way, yeah, Tommy. At this point, Denzo equals 150 AI. All right, so there is also the pit strategy. Of course, it's a one-stop strategy, medium to hard. Of course, lap 11 to 13 is the pit window. That's obviously the best strategy for anyone to do. And, oh, well, that's great. Tango's left the session. All right, so the top 10, except for Nunda, is on the soft compound tire. Cryptic Alibi and Shadows on the hards. Marvsky started on the softs. Very interesting. So he's going to go very bold on this strategy in the back and see if he can get all the way up to the front. Jay Story on the mediums, and then the bottom three, Dan Murphy, Jake Slayer, and Nowsy are on the hard compound tire. And let's give you the order one more time. Denzo, of course, is on pole position. Probably with the best time I've seen so far. 1:26.9 was his pole time. Siege will start in second, Cowie in third, Rick Dalton in fourth, Sully in fifth, Chaz in sixth, Christine in seventh, Nunda in eighth, Cornell in ninth, Tango in 10th, Cryptic Alibi in 11th, Shatters in 12th, Sam Swift in 13th, Serious Mushroom in 14th, F1 Farth in 15th, Marvsky in 16th, Jay Story in 17th, Dan Murphy in 18th, Jake the Slayer in 19th, and Nowsy rounds off your grid. And why is the game showing sectors 1 and 2 and 3 having yellow flags? I don't see anything wrong. Oh shoot, I really hope it's not going to be the case of that glitch where it's just the whole track has yellows and you can't pass. Right. Now I see green flags from the marshal post. I'm confused. What's happening? There's green flags I'm seeing waving by the marshals, and then on the map it shows yellow all over the circuit. What is happening? Good job, Codemasters. Either the marshals are drunk or I'm just seeing things. I have no idea. Anyway, we should be able to get lined up. There we go. Alright. Okay, are we able to get going, or is this game gonna be frozen? Oh, okay, well, it's lights out and away we go. I couldn't even see the lights. Thanks, Codemasters, for that. Alright, well, Denzo leads into turn 1. Just put it on my bed. Sorry about that. A little apology there for the pause there. Anyway, why is there such a yellow flag? I have no idea. But yeah, my apologies for the pause. Anyways. Denzo seems to be in the lead by, looks like a good... thanks, Codemasters. I wanted to show back of the Alfa Romeo, not the back of a Haas. It looks like Denzo's in the lead by, like... Really? Come on, game. Alright, so, Konau's gone ahead of Shaza. Looks like they're trying to go side by side into turn 12. Looks like a little bit of a switchback. Trying to be performed by the racing point. He's going to go around the outside. Oh, he does not even leave him any space into the penultimate turn. But it is Denzo that's leading the way. I have no idea by how much. I'm going to guess like 1 second is the gap exactly. Now, what is happening with this game? Seriously. It doesn't show me the intervals, and it doesn't show me, it didn't even show me the fastest lap until, like, Denzo got into turn 1. I have no idea what's going on here. Okay. If I could have the intervals, that'd be great. Codemasters. Jeez. Anyway. It doesn't, I'm trying to see, did any position be... I love this. I can't even find out what gained positions. It looks like Nunda's lost the position. He's down to 9. I think he might be soon. He's trying to fight against Chazza though for 8th place. He's on the inside of the seam corner. Tries to hold him off. He does hold him off, at least for the time being. I don't think anyone's gained or lost positions. Actually, no, the hard runners have gained positions. Dan Murphy, Naldi, and Jake the Slayer up into 13, 14, and 15. And F1 Farth gets a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings. So there's your first penalty. I mean, I've seen Codemasters do some stuff, but I've never seen it do things like that. Oh, great, now the intervals are frozen. I love that. Alright, anyway, Rick Dalton looks like he's going to have DRS on Cowie. Cowie's also got DRS in front of against Siege, but I don't think he's close enough. But look at that straight line speed, though, by the racing point to get ahead of that Alfa Romeo, and he gets ahead of him up into 3rd place. Let's see. What would I do if I... Okay. So that doesn't change anything. Now gets a 3-second time penalty. Tango's just having a lot of connection issues, apparently. And now it says Konau has the fastest lap of the race. Oh, gosh, Codemasters. Is Siege really down by 1.5 seconds from Denzo? Because I don't think I believe that. Rick Dalton also is closing in on him as well, and I don't think he's down by 8/10. Codemasters. Alright, so anyways, DRS wide open now. Pretty much it's going to be a little bit of a DRS train. Yeah, you can see now Cruz is starting to form as well from the top 9, then the top 10, then from 10 to looks like to be roughly 16th. Has a little bit of a group starting to form. Tango, 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. And now my intervals have disappeared for the top 4. Interesting. Thank you, Codemasters. Alright, so here's Rick Dalton with DRS. He will get DRS against the Haas. And I don't think he's quite close enough to even get a move done, so he has to hold back the position. At least for the time being. I'm going to look and see what Denzo is. Denzo's at the end of the 2nd sector. I think he's up by 2 seconds. I want to say he's up by 2 seconds. And, oh. Looks like Marsky had a little bit of an... Ooh, and I thought Marsky had a bit of an incident, and then it looked like an AlphaTauri was about to soon get one there as well. That might have been Dan Murphy. Really, Codemasters, the game doesn't have a yellow near the 2nd sector. Come on, at the chicane. Oh, jeez. Sorry if I'm just complaining about Codemasters. I just love this game sometimes. Alright, so Rick Dalton is going to go for the attack on Siege, looks like. We got lap 5 of 27 of this race in the French Grand Prix. And it looks like yellow's because an AlphaTauri has gone into the pit lane. Dan Murphy's going into the pits to get off the hards. I'm guessing he must have had some sort of an incident, and now his front wing is gone. Alright, so the gap is 2.6 according to Codemasters, even though it's frozen. Doesn't pull an interval for Cowie. It hasn't even done any interval changes for me. Great. Anyway, so here comes Rick Dalton on the inside with DRS. I think he's going to get ahead of him before the braking zone. He does. So Rick Dalton moves himself up into second place, ahead of the Haas. And now he's just going to have to hunt down Denzo. And I know the gap is not 4 tenths. It's got to be at least like still 2.5 seconds. But also to mention with this battling, it's allowing Denzo to slightly pull away a little bit. Yellow's in sector 2, it's the chicane. I don't see anything wrong. It's just a localized yellow. Jeez, Codemasters. Seriously? Seriously, honestly, this game. And a little bit of luck with different Rick Dalton there. See if we'll get the DRS again against the Racing Point. And get ahead of him now. His impression now does not look like he's not close enough. Cowie also has DRS, won't get there. Sully unfortunately did not get DRS because he wasn't under a second from Cowie. So with him being out of DRS range, it might cause him a little bit of trouble there because he probably won't even, with those guys having DRS against each other, he probably won't be able to like get close to battling them. So right now he's in a bit of a, actually no, he's got a bit closer now. Let's see. Yep, there you go. Now he's got DRS, so he's fine. Alright, DRS open, so he's back in the train of cars. Gap now says 3.1 seconds separate between Denzo and Rick Dalton. Do I believe that? Now it says 1 minute 30 seconds. Cowie's behind Siege. What? I'm sorry, what are these intervals? Cowie, 1 minute 33. Chaza, 1 minute 36. Then you have Serious Mushroom, a lap. What is this game? What is this? Good grief. This game is something else. But yeah, Denzo's in a very comfortable lead at the moment. Okay, now the intervals have just disappeared. I think from what's going on here, if I can briefly explain. So with Tango leaving and coming back, it's messing up everything. So pretty much that's why all the intervals are going really wonky. Oh wow, now the intervals actually work. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Alright, so there's a actual gap, 3.3 seconds of gap between Denzo and Rick Dalton. So that's what I want to see. I think that, I kind of figured that's what it was, over 3 seconds. I just wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, I know, I'm aware of that, Jake. And speaking of that, Cowie gets ahead of Siege. Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I just never seen that stuff happen before. But I know, like, when someone leaves and comes back, the intervals disappear, and then for a brief moment, and then they come back, and they're actually working. I don't know, it's just the stupidest thing, but I just never seen the intervals do that kind of thing before. It is literally the stupidest thing I've ever seen, really. Alright, so anyway. The medium runners should be very comfortable at the moment where they are at in terms of like the tires, but they will have to pit within lap 11 to 13 like you saw on the graphic for the pit window. And that was, I think, going into the pits. Yep, that is the one of the two soft runners. Well, Marsky is already pitted for mediums. But what is he going to? So he's going to the medium. So he's going to commit to a 2-stop. Interesting. He's probably thinking that the two-stop could be a faster strategy, but we'll see how that goes. So Jake just also said in the comments, shout out to Marksky, Paul Polka just gone off injured. Oh, that's a shame. That's not going to look good for Manchester United. I'm guessing he's also a Manchester United fan. What was the injury? Was it... What? How did he get injured, Jake? If you could put that in the comments. 3.8 seconds is the gap right now between Rick Dalton and Idenzo. Cowie right now in third, Siege in fourth, and then Sully right now in fifth place. And meanwhile, Crooksey is in a battle with Konal for sixth place. The Renault and the Alpha Tauri trying to battle each other out right now. We'll be able to get DRS. Jason Slater's got a 3-second penalty now for multiple warnings. DRS should be open now for the Renault. Crispy Ally also gets a 3-second time penalty. I think the majority of the penalties right now, except for, who was it that got a 5-second? Was it Tango? Yeah, that had a 5-second penalty for being in the pits, but he's not in the lobby. But meanwhile, Crooksey trying to catch up to the Renault, and then you got Siege trying to battle it out with the Alfa Romeo Cowie for third place at the moment. DRS still should be open for the Haas driver. Rick Dalton right now is just maintaining that gap a little bit though. It hasn't really gone under 3.8. It hasn't really gone over too much of 4 seconds. It's just kind of been in between that. Doesn't mean that you can perform an undercut. I think he'd be somewhat in range to get an undercut on it, if possible, to get that clean air. But we'll have to see what lap he pits. So Cowie right now is in third. Siege is in fourth. I guess there might have been an overtake that just got done and I missed it. But yeah, right now Alfa Romeo doing very good at the moment. Right now 1 and 3 at the top of the table. Meanwhile, these two are still going at it. Crooksey and Konal battling right now for 6th place. The better exit though, looks like I don't think the Renault will get to him. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Now's right now doing a pretty decent job though right now in the top 10. At least he's in the top 10, the only one on the Haas that's in the top 10, but he will have to pit probably by the... What's the hard pit window? I think that's like 16 to 18 that they go to the hards, or to go to the hards go into the pits. Yeah, that gap is just, it's just maintaining the way it is. Hasn't really just changed that much. Right now it's 4 seconds between Rick Dalton and Denzo. It's kind of been split, like I said, between 3.8 and 4 seconds. Cowie is at 1.3 seconds behind, ahead of Siege. And Siege is right behind right now. Actually, no, I'm sorry. He's down by 1.4 seconds. I'm sorry, I got mixed up. By 1.4 seconds behind Rick Dalton. Siege is closing in very fast still, but he just can't find any way to get past him. Yeah, Cowie right now is very vulnerable because he doesn't have the DRS to get away from the 2 cars behind him who have the DRS. Meanwhile, we'll go for the battle for 9th place, and it looks like a move has been done as Konal has gone into the pit lane. So he's the first, I think, of the medium runners that have gone into the pits. No, but also Crooksey too. So they both went into the pits for hard tires. So obviously they're going to go to the very end. And we have yet to see the rest of them go into the pit lane. So we'll see where that goes. So it looks like Rick Dalton's lost a little bit of time too. as he's lost about half a second from Denzo. Must have made a mistake somewhere. That gap is like increasing more and more. I think if I'm Denzo now, I think this would be the time for him to at least come into the pits, get the overcut done, and he should be fine. He's got a good margin of 5 seconds. But yeah, I'm just wondering what. Oh, and we have a Red Bull out. It's Nelsy. Will that bring out a safety car? This car's on the left side of the track. Wow. That will not bring out a safety car. So Nelsy crossing the left side wall. He's out of the race. And now into the pits is Denzo's teammate, Cowie. So he's going for an undercut on Rick Dalton. And Siege has followed him as well, so he's going to do the same thing, try to get ahead of Rick into the pit, get him on the undercut in the pits. Sully also followed as well. Chazza also in the pit lane, so it's a pretty busy pit lane. Obviously they're going to go to the hards, go to the very end of the race, as expected. So now everything changes to Denzo, Serious Mushroom now taking third, and then Cryptic Alibi Shatters are now in the top 5. Sam Swift is down into 6th place. After starting from the near, where did he start, if I remember correctly? Did he start like near the back? He started at 13th. That's a big block up there too for him as well. And I think that's going to cost him a position. Yep, it does. Ahead goes Cowie. Well, he's fighting back though with DRS. Doesn't look like it's close enough to even get him, so. Oh, the answer would be no. Let's see, what will Denzo do? Is he going to come into the pit lane? And put on the hard tire. Shatters is multiple warnings as well to Admiral's Coast. Meanwhile, Cowie on the inside of Shatters going to the seam corner, and I think he'll get him as well. Yes, he does. He goes into 5th place. Denzo's going to the pits, and Rick Dalton is coming to the pits as well. So now that just leaves where Cowie's going to come out on, because he had to deal with some traffic. Will he get the undercut to work against Rick Dalton? Rick Dalton's coming out of his pit stall now. Serious Mushroom into the pit lane. So where is Rick Dalton? He's at the exit, I think. And it looks like the undercut did not even work. So with the 3 cars that went into the pits, Siege and Sully and Cowie, that undercut did not work at all, especially for Cowie. He gained time on Rick Dalton, but he didn't get close enough to get an undercut done. So, and to make matters worse, he looks like he won't be in DRS. Or will he be in DRS? I don't know. Oh, he is in DRS range. Said he was at 1.1 seconds at one point. Alright, so at least he's got DRS to help him out. And then you saw Denzo pitted as well, so he's got a very comfortable lead. Meanwhile, Shatter's got a little bit of... Oh, this is a pretty big congestion, the way it looks. There's at least... 6 cars involved there in that little bit of a skirmish. Shatters is just leading the traffic. Nando's trying his best he can to get ahead of the Renault. Alright, is he gonna go for a move? No, he cannot. They're just stuck in traffic. They can't get... Shatters is just basically holding them up. Let's see, Nando's gonna try to go for a move on the inside. No, he cannot go for a move on the inside. He's just too far back. He should be able to get him on DRS. He is very close. Look at that little train of cars there. And now you can see Chazza is also going to get involved as well. But can that McLaren get ahead of the Renault? He's trying to gain on him. Is he going to go for a move? No, he cannot. He's not close enough. But he does get a better exit, though. Better traction there out of turn 2. Now he's going to go for a move on the inside into turn 3. Does he get the move done? I think he's got him. Yes, he does. So he gets him around the outside into turn 4. Good move there by the McLaren. and up into 4th place. But meanwhile, Shadows is losing now 3 positions out of those 2 corners. He might lose a 4th as well, with Konal right behind him. Of course, Shadows has yet to pit as well. He's still on those cars that he started on at the start of the race. And meanwhile, yep, there he goes, loses a position there to Konal. So in the space within 3 corners, Shadows has lost 4 positions. And now here comes Shaza and Cryptic Alibi. But Cryptic Alibi has yet to pit as well, just like Shadows. But meanwhile, back at the battle for the 2nd place position, Cowie and Rick Dalton battling out right now for 2nd place. A little luck up there from Rick. And looks like we got bear eggs as well, so it's just clear at the moment. Nunda, though, will have to make another stop, obviously, because he is on a 2-stop strategy compared to almost everyone behind him. He's just going to have to try everything he can, though, to get ahead of him so he can at least try to catch the Cowie and get to the bow. But right now, that gap is very, very split with a 5.7-second margin between those, between 3rd and 4th. Oh yeah, none of there. You can see he's starting to lose a little bit of grip on those tires. Meanwhile, I think Siege has got him. Yeah, he's gone with a straight line speed into the braking zone of turn 8. There he goes. So there goes Siege into 4th place. And now he's got to deal with Sully behind him. I think he might deal with the same situation as Crixie did a little while ago, losing a bunch of positions. But it doesn't look like it will happen in the space of 3 corners. It might happen later on, but now for the hard runners, I think they should be able to pit within the next couple of laps, from what I can understand. And they might have to either go for the mediums, or if they go long enough, they can go to the softs to the end. And just push as much as they can. Meanwhile, Sully has DRS on Nunda. Does he get them? Can he get it by him? Looks like the answer will be no. Cowie's got a 3-second penalty. How many penalties has he got? He's got 6 seconds of penalties. Actually, at this rate, if Siege could close the gap more and doesn't get a penalty, he can actually get the podium. But yeah, with Siege being held up, yeah, I was kind of pointing that out, Jake. With Siege being held up by that traffic, yeah, I did manage to have Cowie split away a little bit from Rick, but with that penalty, though, that might be a bit of a factor at the end of the race. But we'll have to see. As long as Siege doesn't get a penalty, he should be fine. But the gap right now is at 6.2 seconds. At the front, though, it's been very steady at the moment for Denzo. Has a 4.9-second lead to Rick Dalton. He's also led, I think he's led every single lap so far, too. So he's been pretty much having a commanding race so far. Of course, that isn't really the newest thing to Denzo. He is known for taking very good command of the position. Meanwhile, Nunda's got DRS on Siege, but does he have enough space to get to him? I don't think he has. He'll have to stay back, at least for the moment. And meanwhile, we have a position change as looks like the outside top 10 runners are going into the pits. F1 Farth and Tango and Jason Slayer have gone into the pit lane. Meanwhile, Rick Dalton and Cowie are just battling out for second. Siege, though, has lost time, but that's obviously because of the DRS battle with Cowie and Rick Dalton going on. But if Cowie does get another penalty, that could change a little bit more of what's to come. Jay Story has a 3-second time penalty. Oh, let me check the warnings real quick. Denzo is down to 2 warnings. So if he gets another one, he could get a penalty. Rick Dalton has, looks like 1, I think. Cowie has 2 penalties. Siege has 2 warnings. Sully's clean. He hasn't had even a warning either. And Conell has two penalties from the way it looks. No, it's 6 seconds for Cowie, Young Tommy. Meanwhile, though, Nanda's gone ahead of Siege for 4th place, so that's not going to really help Siege, because now he's going to have to try to fight him off again. Especially with Nanda struggling a little bit on those old mediums. And he will have to make another stop soon. He's going to use that overtake, and that should be very easy to overtake too, because he's also out of battery. Alright, so pretty much like before, he should be able to get him in the braking zone, and he does. I think. Yes, he does. So he goes back to 4th, but he's got to now try to pull away a little bit. I don't know if there was a moment where he made a mistake. Oh, we got an incident, I think. That's Sully. Yeah, it is. It is Sully. He had a moment, it looked like, at the end of turn 9. I don't know exactly what happened, but he's got front wing damage. No end plate and no flap. So he has to go to the pit lane and get a new front wing. So that is his chances of really being within the top 4. Because he was right there for a little while. So I was behind Nanda. So probably there was an incident between those two, I'm guessing. I have to get a steward look at it if that were the case, if it does get reported. But meanwhile, Rick Dalton and Cowie are still battling up for 2nd, and he is close all over the racing point. It just doesn't seem like Cowie can find a way to get by him, though. He just struggles to get like good exits compared to Rick. I'm surprised he didn't go for the slipstream there at the start of the DRS, though. Right, so at the moment, yeah, like you were saying, Jake, there could be a moment where Crooksy can go for possibly 5th because the cars ahead of him have penalties and he has none of them. As far as warnings, I'm not sure. I'll probably look at that in a little bit, but in the meantime, we have about 9 more laps into the race. So. And Tango's left the session again. Of course, that internet's seemed to be having a lot of issues to that McLaren, unfortunately. And also I'm noticing too is Denzo has lost some time a little bit. He's lost about nearly a second out of that lap. Or at least I would say the last 2 laps, I'm not sure, but yeah, he's lost a fair amount of time to Rick Dalton. I'm not sure if that'll play any factor to later on, but if Denzo does get a penalty and Rick Dalton could somehow manage to close a 2nd, then maybe there's a chance that Rick Dalton could win the race. But he's got to hope and pray that Denzo gets a penalty, because right now that gap doesn't seem like it's going to be closing. It seems like it's going to be steady most of the time because they seem to be about roughly even amount of pace. Cowie's got another penalty, I guess. Yeah, he did. He's got now. He's got 9 seconds of penalty. So if Siege wouldn't have been battling with Nanda, I think he would have been in range to get him on penalties. Yep. Meanwhile, we're at lap 21. Oh, there goes Nanda. He's going to the pits to get off those mediums. He'll go to the softs to the end, I would assume. So Siege will take over 4th place. Canal will finish, will take over 5th, and pretty much any of the cars behind will just get ahead of him at the moment. Oh, and Rick Dalton's got a penalty now too. He's got 3 seconds. So that might change everything now too, because at this rate, he's going to have to prevent Denzo to get at least 2 penalties. Gap now is at 3.9. I'm not sure if that's correct because the gap seems to be frozen. The only ones that is working is the ones below the top 3. Alright, so 9 seconds is the gap. So Siege has actually closed the gap a lot. So at this rate, actually Siege could take 3rd due to Cowie's penalties if he keeps it up. But let's see. Meanwhile, down for 10th place, Shatters has got ahead of Sam Swift for 10th place. Of course, he's pitted for the soft tire. Nanda also pitted for the soft tire as well, like I said. Pretty much all the quad runners gone to the softs. So, well, Sully unfortunately had a bit of an incident, so he's on the softs just to try to get the fastest lap. I think Tango had the fastest lap now. Yeah, there's sometimes yeah, I can say that, Jake. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of France either. From a driver's perspective, I'm not very good there. That's one thing. Another thing too is I would say the racing is just it's just meh, really. It's just not a very exciting track, in my opinion. More on that maybe in a bit. But meanwhile, Chazza has got DRS and Konal for the battle for 5th place. Konal trying to go on the inside, trying to defend his line. But I don't think he can defend the inside line in turn 9. Nope, he cannot. So Chazza moves up into 5th place. Konal drops down to 6th. But yeah, no, like, it's just like, I mean, sometimes this game does provide good racing with France, but I know in real life it's awful because it's just nothing but just certain groups battling in separate places, and that's it. It kind of is the same, it feels like the same story with this race, really. Meanwhile, looks like, yeah, Konal should be able to fight off against Chazza. He's going to try to fight him back. Yeah, DRS. I don't think he's close enough to get by, but Crooksey's also getting close. Crooksey is in the position to get 5th place because he doesn't have any penalties. Look at the penalty situation for those guys. Chazza is 6, Konal is 3. So, either way, those drivers will drop down to 6th and 7th place, with Crooksey just staying behind. I think Crooksey's just gonna probably just drop it down a tad and just, you know, go. Oh, that's a big lock up there from Rick Dalton. And that also cost him a little bit of time as well, because he was down by only 2.8 seconds, and now he's lost about half a second to Denzo. Maybe that's why the gap's been decreasing. He used up a lot of his battery. Denzo has used barely any of his battery because he's got 68% of it. Konal gets a penalty as well. How many is that for him? That's 6. So no matter what, pretty much Crooksey will still be able to get 5th, even though those two having a scrap. But Cowie needs to build at least a 9-second gap. Right now the gap is split between 8.7 to 8.8 seconds between him and Siege in this battle for, well, pretty much the gap range between third and fourth. But also 2.6 seconds right now is the gap, so Denzel's lost some time, but obviously he's not pushing. That's the, I keep thinking of the reason why that is, obviously. And plus, he doesn't really need to push anyway because Rick is on penalties and he is not. If he was on penalties, maybe it would be a whole different story, but that isn't really the case. See what these two are going to be doing here with this little scrap. Going out as DRS. No, he's not close enough to get to Chaza. Staying a little bit behind at the moment. Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking too. He's just saving for the fastest lap. With all the batteries used, yeah, like I said, he doesn't need to push because of the penalties, but yeah. You can't say that, yeah, he's saving for fastest lap. See if those tires will have enough life to do it, but we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, Chaza and Konal is still battling right now for fifth. Still been the same gap as it's been for a little while now. Just doesn't seem like Chaza has, or Konal has any sort of like chance to get him, just because Chaza just pulled away with the exit speed, but he just cannot get to him just because of the dirty air. And I think he's lost some time too with those two corners. In those two corners, now it's at 0.8 of a second. Right now we have 2 more laps left. Yeah, that gap is still closing, but yeah, you can see Denzo is at 81%. So yeah, he's definitely saving for the fastest lap for sure. If I have to guess what the tire life is, I don't know if he's on pad or wheel. If he's on pad, I probably would say his life on the tire is probably somewhere around the 50% margin, maybe. I know on wheel though, it's actually very like easy not to wear out your tires. It's very interesting how that works. Because obviously when you're on the wheel, it's obviously smoother. Actually, I'll look at his wheel. I can't tell if he's wheel or pad just by the way he turns the steering wheel. Let's see. That looks more pad to me. He's on pad actually. Oh, look at this. He's actually, look at this. Dalton's closed in now. Maybe he saved it a little bit too much. Rick Dalton has DRS on Denzo. Marcy got a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's more wheel to me. Because, yeah, from the way you steer the steering wheel, it's not so fluent. Okay. Yeah, for a pad user, that's actually pretty impressive. So 0.7 of a second right now is the separation between Denzo and Rick. Cryptic Alibai's got a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Right, so now we're going to be starting the final lap of the race. So I guess this is now the point where Denzo just puts the hammer down. Yep, there he goes. He's now putting the hammer down. And now just going to try to pull away from Rick Dalton as quickly as he possibly can. Yeah, he's used up 40% of that battery at the first corner. Yeah, he's just going to use all of it just to pull away. Rick Dalton has absolutely no battery life at all, but he might get DRS just to get closer to Denzo, but I don't think at this rate he'll get him at this rate. But yeah, Siege meanwhile 8.7 seconds, so he has to stay with under 9 seconds in order for him to get third place on the third step of the podium. And yeah, there you can see Denzo has definitely opened that gap more. He's used up all that battery as well. Let me look. Oh, it doesn't really show on your screen, on the spectator's mode, that if he's like improving on the steering wheel. That's only if you're driving. But anyway, just 3 more corners left. And it looks like Denzo will be set for a 4th win here in the Premier League, here in WNR. He rounds the final corner now. And he's going to see, and when he comes across the line, he'll see the checkered flag. And he will win the French Grand Prix. He does not get the fastest lap, unfortunately, but he does win the race. Rick Dalton comes up in 2nd, Cowie in 3rd, but what about Siege? Where is he going to end up? I think he's going to come up in 3rd. He should be able to, and yep, there you go. So Siege will take over 3rd place. Shazza and Connell finished 5th and 6th, but Crooksy will jump them and finish in 5th place, and they'll end up in 6th and 7th. Nunda will come home in 8th place where he started off, and then Serious Mushroom will finish in 9th place. And meanwhile, these two have a little bit of a scrap back there for the last few positions between Farth and Dan Murphy. Looks like this might be a drag race to the line. Sully goes very wide out of the final corner. Dan Murphy will get him as well. So he takes 12th. Sully lost 2 positions. Dan Murphy finishes in 12th. Sully finishes in 13th. Farth will have to finish in 15th after going very wide, and then Cryptalifite finishes in 14th. But also, Shatters finishes in 10th. Sam Swift in 11th. One of the other cars ahead. Jay Story will finish in 16th place. Marsky 17th. Jake the Slayer in 18th. Tango will finish in 19th. But Denzo with a commanding race wins the French Grand Prix. Wins 4 out of 5 races here in the Premier League. And right now is in very good command in the Premier League once again. Oop, and my controller died, obviously. Sorry about that. But there you go. There is your driver of the day too, Dan Murphy. I want to see how many, I wonder how game position he must have gained. But it is Denzo who takes the race win here in France with Rick Dalton and Siege on the podium with him. So congratulations to Denzo once again for his 4th win of the season. And next week we will be heading to China for the Chinese Grand Prix. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this stream if you liked it today, and also give a little hit that subscribe button for if you enjoy the races here on Weekend Night Racing. But there's your results. Denzo with the win. Rick Dalton finishes in 2nd place. Siege in 3rd. Cowie in 4th. Crooksy in 5th. Shazza in 6th. Conal finishes in 7th. Nunda in 8th. Serious Mushroom in 9th. Shatters in 10th. Sam Smith in 11th. Dan Murphy in 12th. Sully in 13th. So Dan Murphy gained 6 positions. Crypti Alibi in 14th, F1 4th in 15th, Jay Story in 16th, Marvsky in 17th, Jay the Slayer in 18th, Tango in 19th, and Nalzi rounds off the rest of your grid. And that is it for this stream too. My name is KD 1997. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time in China. Take care, everyone.